Hi guys, Mark here from Sparkly Shade. How are you guys keeping? This is part 3 of our series where we're replacing the frame rails in this with box section steel. Today we're actually going to get them fitted on and welded and good to go. Looking forward to showing to you guys. I want to basically cut back this little plate here and have a little view inside to see what it's like. Hopefully there might be just a little bit of surface corrosion that was visible on the borescope. Hopefully that's exactly what we see when we opened it up. Then we just can treat it and close it back off again, all going well. So let's cut in. Have a look. Not bad. Exactly as the borescope is showing me. Let's give you a little close up. So once again, very much so surface rust. So I'll clean this all off. I might feed a little bit of rust treatment in here and here, zinc it and weld it. So yeah, this is really good news. Okay, so I just gained access to this part of the chassis, which we've determined that is fine. We peel back both sides, just have a look underneath, and all is okay in there. But what we are going to do is we're going to treat it with this oil. It's a rust inhibitor. And while we're in here, we decided to gain access to this part of the cavity here and treat it all in there too. This is all before we put the chassis rail on. Now this is going to hold up the installation of the chassis rail onto the car for a couple of days, because this takes a long time to do its job. It's about 2 days before it's kind of anyway touchable, and then when I have that done, then we'll basically treat the whole interior of this here with weld-through primer, and we'll try and give it some sort of protection. Now, like with this side here, we've got 2 ports here where we're going to feed kind of a nozzle spray where we can actually treat the whole inside of this. This has already got weld-through primer, standard primer all on the internal of this, but we're going to basically paint the internal of the rail as well, likewise, which has been done up here. So we'll have to repeat the same down this side. So next stage, spray in our oil and leave it for a few days, and then we're going to close that cap, weld it, the frame rail, close this one here. So I've treated that now. It's a really oily substance, but the great thing about this is that you can spray it into areas like here, and it's going to flow down by the back of it, which you can see here. I flip the car the other way, spray it here, and it's kind of coming, penetrating through all of that area. So you know that it's kind of getting in behind all of these areas that are kind of hard to access. I hope you can see it with the light here. On the side and in here, there's so much that's actually dripping back out of it again. So this is not going to give any issues going forward. Lads, I cannot tell you how handy it is to have a rotisserie. Any of this kind of work would be an absolute nightmare if you were doing it from underneath. Just be able to flip it over to whatever angle that you want liquid to flow. Unbelievable. Okay, we're going to home in here next, and we're going to try and see if we can get our seat rail fitted in. Okay, so if this pressed onto position, we can see our 3 spot welds from where it originally was located, and likewise with here. So we know that this plate is correct. It's down, it's located. We just need to get this tight, and then we're just going to start working our way and trying to get this flat down back onto its original location. So we just go for it. Just start welding. And there you go. Lots of coaxing it back into the shape that it was. But we know that we're at the right height and the right location here with these 4 punches, or these 4 spot welds. And likewise with these 3 original spot welds down here. So we know we're good for our height and our location, and then it's just a matter of coaxing down all the old spot welds back to their original location. So as opposed to trying to bring the floor back up to it, I started putting the plate back down to the floor, because I know originally I was kind of bending this plate upwards as I was trying to remove it. So it's a nice snug fit. I'm just going to look in to see if I actually do need to weld all the way around the outside of this, or if those spot welds are sufficient. I'll have to touch base with the engineer over that. But overall, it's a snug fit, and I'm very happy with that. So I think might clean out the whole area and then just treat it so that we don't introduce any more new corrosion. Okay, we're flipped back over to the other side again. You see how that's nicely pulled in there for the seat, all the spot welds. And working back along here now, we've zinc sprayed this again for the weld through primer. So what we're going to do now is tap this fella back, because we've treated it all up inside here. Tap this guy and weld it, and then we're going to come back at a later date and come in through a little hole here and back spray it from the inside all the way through, so you know that the inside and the outside is perfect. So we get her brought back down here and welded in, and then we're going to get our frame rail, stick it back on, and then when that's all done, then we'll just basically put in a little mock plate on the outside here, so it looks quite normal and natural to the way it is. But our frame rail will be welded this all the way along, and then right directly onto the floor up along here. So let's get cracking. Not my finest welding, but it's solid anyway. I doubled up the weld on this side because it's close to the edge, and I wanted to kind of cover that. Hey, look, new gloves! Woo! Wanted to make sure that was kind of nice and solid in here, and then anything underneath this, as I said, we'll just come back in from in along here and do it from behind. So that's that done. I think it's time to get ready to put on this chassis rail. Okay, just off screen, I just cleaned off this with the wire brush with the angle grinder, and just gave it a little copper. This is copper, it's the same kind of stuff as the zinc, but it's just different base material. I just basically covered it all up there, making it nice and safe. So I decided to give you a quick view of the frame rail in its entirety. So you can see all the little undulations all the way down. I have this cap piece completely welded in, so it's good to go. I have the inside treated with the zinc weld through spray all the way down to the end there, and then I have these 2 holes put in as well, so that we can actually treat the inside of it afterward. Okay, a few positions for spot welds. So when I clamp it all tight together and we weld it all along here, we can then penetrate and catch the side of the plate as well. So happy out. Now, this is the last time. So you can see where our spot welds are going to catch the side of this now. So the trick to this is to tack all the way up the whole way across the whole lot, because what you don't want to do is start welding here and then this all expanding and warping out and changing shape, and the whole kind of losing its place. And then when this outer rail contracts after it cools down, it starts pulling the whole frame, everything gets twisted out of shape. So it's the last thing you need. So what we're going to do is we're going to go across and tack this. Good strong tacks all the way up along it. It will make the weld look a little bit steppy as you go along it. I'm not the best welder on the planet, but get the job done. But what we'll do is we'll just fill out all these sections then afterwards with a good solid weld. Obviously we can tap out the floor a bit more here once this solid tacks are in place. So I think it's time to make this permanent. Let's get her on. Okay, we are all tacked on. I had to press it in a little bit all the way along here because it's just splaying out wide just a little bit. But we carried on the tacks. Once again, we need to kind of knock from the inside of the car back out here, so we got that closed off. And then likewise all the way across the bottom. So now for the big weld. So what we'll probably do is weld in like stage like here, 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 and work our way up along either side of the car. So there'll be a lot of toing and froing with this. But what we're trying to do is get the heat on this and giving it a chance to cool down before you kind of get anywhere close to it as well, so you don't have this warping in any way at all. So it'll be a slow, tedious weld, but at least you know you're not introducing any twists or kind of warps into the chassis of the car. So it's time to start welding. Hello. How are you? Have you been looking at the welder? No? Really? That's not good for you. So, almost there. It's little spot welds. Ground off flat on this side. And we're well wrapped around. It's a slightly lumpy affair at points. It's just getting over all the tack welds that I'd spotted on there. But we're almost sealed. We just need to do the back. So just a small little stretch to do here, and then we can give the whole lot a clean off. So this weld can get done fairly quickly, pretty much like, and we're done at last. So this only finished about 5 minutes ago now. I'm already able to touch it. It's actually cold back here, so that's how slowly I welded it, just to make sure that we don't push any stresses or strains into the car. Most of the welds were fine. My temperature was a little bit low here, but still welded up. Here is a bit better. We did a nice little wrap around there. And then it's just welded literally now, and it's already cold. So now it's a matter of cleaning up any kind of little high bits with the sanding disc or the mopping disc. And probably kind of clean off any high bits here as well. There's a couple little areas where the spot welds protruded. Make it look nice and neat. And then we can get ready to prime it like we have over here. Happy days, lads. It is complete. Alright folks, that pretty much wraps it up. We have our rail nicely fitted in, and from here on in, also what we're going to do is treat the outside with a nice primer. We're going to treat the inside with a nice primer by going up to these little spots here and feeding back on each side, and then give it a nice coat of paint on the inside. And then when that's complete, we'll do the same up here as well. So that pretty much sums it up. That is the box section in steel for a frame rail. Happy days. Coming soon is the conversion from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. I've all the parts got already, and it's just a matter of moving all the brackets and mounts from one side to the other, and the vents as well. So it should be fairly straightforward. As always, guys, any likes or subscribes, I'd really appreciate them. It just gives me the courage to go and build this channel a little bit more. I can bring other episodes like the engine conversion that we're doing in this there. It's something that you wouldn't normally see in it, even though it's still a 6-cylinder twin turbo. the left and drive section at the front here, but it's involving the steering setup that all been converted over. There's a lot of ideas that are coming into this that I'd like to bring to the table and kind of give you guidance for Ireland anyway, for any kind of insurance expectations with engineers and all that as well. So guys, look, thanks very much. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye bye.